Hello, this is Sunil Sunder with njvarsity.rivals.com. I'm happy to welcome in Fairleigh Dickinson University football head coach Jimmy Robertson. Thanks, Coach Robertson, for taking some time out to speak with me today.
Thanks for having me. Super excited to be joining you here today. Super excited to talk about our FDU football program. And thanks again for having me.
Thanks, Coach. I said congratulations on your success there at Fairleigh Dickinson University. I said first year as head coach there of the program. I had to, we were just talking before we came on the air. I said disappointing with the 2020 season canceled, but now looking forward to the 2021 season and a new recruiting class coming in. So I had to ask you right off the bat, Coach. Just how everything is working out so far here.
Yeah, everything's going great. Everything is going phenomenal right now at FDU. Obviously, very unique times. I was fortunate and blessed to get promoted to head coach last February. So almost right around this time last year. So it's been almost a year now as head coach here at FDU, and we haven't played a game yet. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic and the unique times that we're living in, we've had to do a lot of unique and different things. But it's what we talk with our players about, every single day, bringing that great energy and passion in the relentless pursuit of greatness in everything we do. So these unique times have given us some unique opportunities, some unique challenges along the way, but a lot of unique opportunities to really develop ourselves, develop our program, and lay that strong foundation so we can get ready for that 2021 season, as you said. Every single day, just overcome that adversity because that's what the great ones do, and our players are doing it right now.
That's true. How disappointing was that, Coach? That you prepare, you work so hard, to get I said ready for a season, and just for it to be canceled like that. I'm sure that really stung. Just knowing how much you and the rest of the coaching staff, the players invested, as far as getting ready for that 2020 season.
Yeah, the biggest disappointment was for our players and our coaching staff because there's so many great people in this program, both our student athletes and our whole coaching staff and support staff that put so much into preparing for the 2020 season. And our university and our conference did a great job of trying to make it happen, but unfortunately, just with the pandemic, it was something that all of Division III throughout the entire country didn't do this fall. But it was mostly disappointing for the players because of all the work they put in. You see it day in and day out, the work ethic, the commitment, all the new things we're doing here at FDU. So it was disappointed for them, but at the same time, they've overcome it. They just know, that we're going to put the pads on again at some point, so they're just staying in that pursuit of greatness. And we're excited. So whenever we get the opportunity to put the pads on again, we'll be ready. And every day we're just getting ready for that moment.
Hey, let's talk about this year's recruiting class, Coach. It said the quality of high school football here in New Jersey is tremendous. It has just grown every single year. Can you just speak about this year's crop of players? It said coming in.
Yeah, we're super excited about where we're taking this program, and it starts with recruiting. We have great players currently on our roster and a really, really strong foundation for the new FDU. Is what we're calling it with a lot of the new things we're doing once our coaching staff has taken over the program. But we're putting together a great recruiting class right now, and that's the blueprint for us: is keeping New Jersey's best home in New Jersey to bring that championship mentality here to FDU. We're excited about where we are right now. We can't get into specifics about talking about specific recruits, but we're super excited about where we are right now with some of the guys we have in the boat with us. Super excited about some of the new guys we're going to be adding in with this recruiting class. But it starts here in New Jersey, keeping the best guys home. And then from there, we'll go to some other areas to bring some impact players here to FDU. But we're really, really excited about where we're going. Have a lot of great feedback from the high school coaches, recruits and their families, our alumni. It takes everyone to build a championship football program, and I'll give a lot of credit to all of our assistant coaches for the work they're doing day in and day out to put together this recruiting class. A lot of credit to our current student athletes because they're the biggest recruiting tool we have. Them talking to their buddies, them talking to other recruits with their experiences, them talking about all the things we're doing now in our player development program and the championship culture that we're trying to create here at FDU. So big credit to them. So really super excited, have the full support of our, administration, and excited about where we're taking this thing. We're going to bring that great energy and passion in everything we do, and recruiting is one of those things.
That's terrific. How was it, especially here with the pandemic and with COVID, like, as far as the recruiting? And I know that technology has changed so much, Coach Robertson, like, especially you can, with Huddle and some of these
Mhm.
things, you can view, players' highlights, even though that the high school seniors didn't get a true season in 2020. I mean, some of them only played, 4 or 5 games, I mean, some got, 8 games in, but can you just speak to that, Coach Robertson?
Yeah, this has definitely changed the recruiting landscape for sure. Because usually, this time of year, once the season would end in the middle of November, all December, January, February, we'd be in and out of high schools, going in to meet with the high school coaches,
Yeah,
meet with the players. In these times, obviously, we're not doing that. So we've had to use technology a lot differently and a lot more. The NCAA has provided some flexibility in that as well with their rules, but
mhm,
it's definitely changing the game. It's going to be some things that we're going to do moving forward if we're continue to allow to do it with a lot of the recruiting stuff, via Zoom and virtual visits. But at the end of the day, though, it is all about the relationships. So we're fortunate that we're still allowed to bring recruits on campus at this point in time, albeit a little differently than in the past with the bigger recruit visits. We're still allowed to bring recruits on campus because for us, it's all about the people in our program, and it starts with building that relationship in recruiting. So we're super fortunate that we're able to still do that.
that's great. Hey, you talked about the administration a little bit earlier, Coach. Can you talk about, the athletic department, the
Yeah.
administration, just the support that you've received from them?
Yeah. There's no greater time than to be a member of FDU overall than right now. And I say that very confidently because of the support that the university and the athletic administration is giving our student athletes and giving all of our programs. And that's from a brand new athlete weight room 2 summers ago to a new Under Armour partnership. So all of our teams have all new uniforms and gear. To us just completing a brand new turf field and outdoor 8-lane track, to a new on-campus baseball complex that will rival probably any Division I baseball complex in the Northeast. That's about to be completed. Redid our tennis courts. So they're not just telling us, as the new FDU football, hey guys, go win and be successful. It's hey, go win and be successful on and off the field, in the classroom, professionally, and here's all the resources to do it: the financial resources, the facilities, the gear. So now our student athletes have the stuff they need, the tools they need to compete and succeed at that elite and championship level.
Yeah, definitely. Just developing, I said that culture, Coach. You talked about, being a student athlete because everyone, forgets, it's just not about, athletics on the field, but it's off the field, as you
Yeah.
said, in the classroom. Just wanted to ask you about that, stressing that importance, to the players as well.
Yeah, that's first and foremost. That's why you're coming to a school like FDU, because when you leave FDU, we tell our guys, we don't want you to just go get a job. We want you to start a career. So we need to give you all the resources to do that while you're here. And then that even starts in recruiting, for student athletes, that you need to have this certain GPA to get into certain, universities such as FDU, and then to get into certain majors that we have. But it starts with the academics. We tell all of our guys and even recruits, we're going to develop them, in multiple areas of their life: academics, football, physical, professional, mental. We're going to develop you in all 5 of those areas,
Mhm.
but it starts with the academic development, because if we can get you to succeed at a high level academically, now those other areas will kind of fall into place. When you're on the field, in the weight room, professionally getting internships or starting careers, all those things will fall into place if you're taking care of business in the classroom. So that's where it does start for us.
No, you definitely, wearing it said, the FDU, it said football, it said colors proudly. I had to ask you, what is, what is your message? I think for the players, what that jersey represents when you put that on every week. I had to ask you about that, Coach.
Yeah, I take great pride in putting this on every single day. You can probably ask my wife. I pretty much wear FDU stuff all day, every day, wherever we go. I try to wear it to birthday parties and holiday parties and family events. But it's because I truly love putting
Yeah.
this logo on my chest every single day, because of the people, involved, not only in our football program, but in our athletic department, our university, our alumni. There's so many people that have done so many great things and are so invested in the FDU football program that, again, I'm going to try to bring as much energy and passion day in and day out to make them proud, because so many people put a lot of hard work into building this thing up, and we want to take it to heights that it's never been before. So it's going to take a lot of hard work, commitment, dedication, and discipline to do it. But putting this on my chest every day, that's just a reminder of it, that we're doing this not just for ourselves or even for our current guys. We're doing it for everyone that's ever put this logo on their chest before.
That's great. Hey, the previous 5 years, you served as the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Just looking over the notes, enjoyed immense success in developing, players. I had to ask you, just, during that, that time, I mean, what that meant to you, to see, like, all your hard work, especially pay off, and then resulting, being named the head coach. I just wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah, it's a testament to all the great people that were involved in the program. And specifically the last 5 years as offensive coordinator and quarterback coach, the great players that we've had some very, very talented players that match their talent with their work ethic, and that allowed them to break a lot of records. And then it was all the other coaches on the offensive side of the ball that I was working with day in and day out. Guys that are still on our coaching staff, John Murphy, our wide receiver coach, Mike Tafar, our offensive line coach. Those two guys they were here in previous seasons with me, and now are still on the coaching staff. But it's them, it's the players that we have a lot of guys that truly want to be great in all that they do, and that allowed us to, break pretty much every FDU offensive record the last couple of years, and put up some points and, won some games. And now we're looking to take that production, that energy, that excitement to the entire program. And the last, 10, 11 months, we've really done that, have full buy-in from our players. And as we've already talked about, have a lot of support from our alumni and administration. So, excited now to bring that to the entire program.
Yeah, I think people sometimes underestimate how important the alumni is, especially, past, players, said that have played in the program, for them to come back and, it said, pay it forward and, speak to, it said, the current players. I'm sure that is critical, in that process, Coach Robertson.
Oh yeah. The alumni, that's one of the most important thing, because not only do they make us proud to put this logo on every day, but they're there to help our guys. And I can say we have a very, very strong and passionate alumni base here at FDU within our football program. I actually just met with 6 or 7 alums, late last night on a Zoom call with some new initiatives that we've put in place over the course of the last 6, 7 months that we're just going through. But we have an alumni mentor program, an alumni professional speaker series. And these alums, they care so much about the program. And yes, they want to see us win out in the field and win a lot of games. And they want to come back and have fun with their buddies, when they come back to a game at Robert T. Shields Field on our campus. But just as importantly to them, they're just as passionate about helping our current players right now. They want to mentor our guys, with the careers and into the industries that they want to work in once they graduate here. They want to come back and speak to our team and do workshops with our team. So that's what's exciting, and that's what I can say, that our FDU football alumni, they'll rival any alumni in the country with how passionate they are about the success of our players, not just on the field, but more importantly, off the field in their careers.
It's wonderful. I had to go back to 2018 season because I looked up there, best record in 25 years. I'm sure that season was magical for you and the rest of the program, Coach.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That year. We had some great players, a couple All-Americans, a couple local guys. Isaiah Turner was a first-team All-American linebacker. Mike Panzarino, second-team All-American wide receiver. And these are 2 local guys, Morris County, Essex County guys, right in our backyard. And that goes back into recruiting. Our goal is to keep the best local guys home. That's the blueprint of success for us. The best local guys, the best New Jersey guys, and then we can go, to other states. I'm from New York. I still live in New York. So then we'll go to some other states to supplement and bring in some impact players. But that year, that was a special year because of the people, that were on that team, those players. I mean, the amount of dedication and work that they put in. They didn't just become All-Americans. And I can go down and list another 10 or 12 players. Our quarterback, Jagger Green, that year. We had a DB, Ryan Wilson, who's now coaching in college. But these guys all summer working out on campus, the amount of work and preparation they put in, they loved football. They loved FDU. And you could tell through their actions, and then that resulted to individual success and team success that year.
That's terrific. I asked players, Coach Robertson, football, it's 24/7, 365. You never take a day off now. It's just like year round. I had to ask you, as far as that training and preparation, because I said you've had, that vast amount of experience. So I wanted to, you can walk people through, just what it, really takes, I said, as far as getting, ready for a season here.
Yeah, it's as you said, it's a year-round commitment, especially to play college football at a high level, which is what we're trying to build here at FDU. And we've laid that foundation now, with the culture we've created, the system we've put in place on and off the field. But it's a year-round commitment.
Yeah.
We talk with our guys all the time about something we call as having a CEO mentality. We tell them CEOs are CEOs because everything they do is at that CEO level. It's not picking and choosing when they want to be great, or when throughout the year they want to be great. Oh, just during preseason, just during the season. No, you have to have that CEO mentality, like you said, 365 days a year, 24/7 in every single thing that you do. And I can really say that our guys have fully bought into that. Our current guys in our roster are working day in and day out to get to that, championship level and all that they do. But, it's a mentality and a lifestyle. You can't just turn it on and off when you want to. You look guys like Tom Brady, they don't win a seventh Super Bowl because they turn it on game day. It's day in and day out, chasing that greatness, living your values and trying to be a champion in all that you do, academics, football, socially, professionally. It's in all of those areas, that you stay in that relentless pursuit of greatness.
One of the final question with the FDU is that when you became head coach, what that moment, I said was like, because, a lot of people, I mean, it takes years, said to finally reach the, said that, that type of position. But when, said your name was called and you found out, I had to ask you just what that moment, felt like, for you, Coach.
It was a dream come true. It really was. All of the work I've put in my career up to that point. So it really was a dream come true, and it's, again, going back to a testament to all the people in my life that have helped me get there, whether it's my family, my wife, Kristen, all the support she gives me day in and day out, my daughters, my parents, my siblings, and then all the great coaches that I've, learned from, guys that have mentored me, guys on our staff now that were a part of the offensive success that allowed me to, get promoted because of the success our offense had, to coaches that coached me in high school and in college and the things I learned from them. So it was a dream come true. And it was really a testament to all the great people and players that I've been surrounded by.
That's great. I had to ask you about a couple of your other former stops, Coach Robertson. 4 years at the United States Merchant Marine Academy. I think you guys were slated to, play them week 1 of the 2020 season, and that, of course, got shelled. But I had to ask you. I said again, enjoyed, outstanding success there. I had to ask you, just about your time there.
Yeah, the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. That's a phenomenal institution. One of the 5 Federal Service Academies. I was fortunate and blessed to have worked there for 4 years under head coach Mike Toop, who's still there. Their offensive coordinator, Jamison Kroll, who's a good friend of mine and I worked under. And yeah, we were supposed to play them this year to kick off the year. We played them in 2019 to kick off the season. That's how things come full circle. My first game as a head coach, and it still will be because we're going to play them to kick off next season, will be versus, a place that I was at. So that'll be an extra special game, playing against, some of the guys that, have mentored me and still mentor me throughout my career here. So, everything comes full circle and, that'll be a fun one.
Hey, can't forget you coached tennis for 2 years, named, athletics coach of the year. I mean, that's amazing to just be able to spread out your wings, Coach Robertson.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal experience being the head tennis coach at the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy for 2 years. And I'll tell you what, that really prepared me for the role I'm in now. Because in addition to being the quarterback coach there for 4 years, those last 2 years, I was the head tennis coach, and you learn how to, run a program. It's developing those leadership skills, and whether it's a tennis program or a football program, I'm still going to bring that same energy, that same passion, and still chase greatness the same way. So I learned how to, run a, Division III, college program. So I was fortunate to have that opportunity, had a lot of fun doing it. We had some success those 2 years with the tennis program.
Great. Then, of course, coaching your alma mater, Rensselaer, Polytechnic Institute. Can you talk about that? Being able to graduate from there, play there, as well on the football team, and be an assistant coach, quarterback coach there as well.
Yeah, was super fortunate to get to coach at RPI for one season. That was while I was getting my master's there. I was in the 4+1 program, and it was really interesting to be able to work alongside all those coaches that coached and mentored me for my 4 playing years, to now see all the behind the scenes stuff. Because you see them in there late night when we're leaving practice and meetings, that they're still there. We would get there in the morning as players and they're already there.
Yeah.
But then to see them do it day in and day out from the coaching side of it, it was really eye opening. And, I learned a ton more from those guys, and those are guys that I still talk to, daily and weekly now, to help mentor me to, continue to get better and develop myself. But to see it, the year after playing for them, to then seeing it, as a, I guess a grad student assistant at that time, was really eye opening. And, I learned a ton from those guys, and, some of my great friends now in my career.
Great. Interesting, nugget that popped out, especially when you were attending RPI, Coach Robertson, is that you minor in sports psychology. Because I think people don't understand it's a physical game, but it's also a mental game as well. I wanted to ask you about that as well, just if you can speak to that, that just the mental, preparation, as far as the game of football.
Oh yeah, the mental side of it is probably more so than the physical side of it, to be completely honest. Whether it's the mental preparation, whether it is the psychology side of it, looking at, things along those lines. But especially, having played quarterback, it was that mental preparation in my playing career that enabled me to have some success, because I wasn't the most physically talented player, as a quarterback. I didn't have the strongest arm. I wasn't the fastest. So what can set me apart from my competition? How can I help my team produce at a championship level? Along with having those great coaches at RPI, and I had some great teammates that I was able to throw the ball to, and a great offensive line. But how individually can I get to that elite level as a player? And it was from the mental side of it. I need to know every single thing that our offense is doing. I need to know what the defense is doing. And then that translates now into the coaching side of it, that mental preparation to allow our players, to achieve their maximum productivity and to reach their potential. But that mental side of it is critical. Again, you look at guys, again, going back to the NFL, guy like Peyton Manning that just got inducted into the Hall of Fame here, or announced he's in this year's class. That's a guy that mentally prepared more so than anybody. And that's why he achieved such success. Yes, he was very talented physically, but mentally he was just as talented because of the day in and day out preparation that he put into it.
I mean, it's just remarkable in what you were able to do there. Said RPI on the football field, Coach Robertson. I mean, a 4-year career starter, and all the accolades that you earned, and the fact that the team went to the playoffs, won a championship. The fact that you have that experience, and what you can bring to the table. Now here, of course, at FDU, I'm sure I said when players look up to you, I mean, they see that what you've been able to do in your past stops as well. I just had to ask you about that.
Yeah, those past experience definitely helped me as a coach now. And we tell our guys, I'll never ask them to do something, that I wouldn't do myself or I haven't done myself, and that's how our coaching staff looks at it, and it was, as a player, I saw what it took to get to that championship level, because we made the NCAA tournament, we won conference championships, we made the postseason 4 times. So it's those things that allowed our team to have success when I was a player. Now we need to do a lot of those same things. And a lot of those things now have molded my coaching philosophy, which is now the philosophy of our team and the culture of our team and the system of success that we've put in place here at FDU. But using my past experiences, I think that's one of the best learning tools is, using those experiences to now help the players on our team.
We can't forget you played overseas as well for the German Professional League. I had to ask you about that, Coach.
Yeah.
That must have been, just incredible. I mean, just, something that, you'll definitely will stick in your memory bank, for the rest of your life.
Oh, forever. I got to play over there in the German Football League for 2 seasons. Once in a lifetime experience. And that's what football did for me. Yeah. I never went to Europe prior to playing. Have not been back to Europe since, but was blessed to be over there for 2 years. Got to travel to 10 or 12 different countries, play in the German Football League versus some great competition. a once in a lifetime experience. Got to experience a whole different culture, and American football over there is huge. They're very passionate about it. So was fortunate to be able to experience that, because it was really, truly a once in a lifetime opportunity, and learned a lot over there.
That's terrific. Just have a couple more left. I can't thank you enough for the time, Coach Robertson. I'm just wondering, when it comes to football coaches, like if there are any coaches that you sort of try to follow, say closely, whether it comes to the college game, or the NFL as well.
Yeah, yeah. The first coaches is always the guys that have coached me. And I actually just saw something on social media this week. Someone posted something about, anyone that's ever coached them, they call coach. And I fully, wholeheartedly believe in that. If someone, they could have been younger than me, but if they've coached me, that's still my coach to me. So first and foremost, it's all the coaches that have coached me. But then you look at, though, the college and NFL now, some coaches that, I truly, enjoy learning from and watching. You look at guys like PJ Fleck at the University of Minnesota, because of the energy and passion that he has and what he's done, creating a culture and then sustaining that culture at Minnesota and at Western Michigan. You look at guys like Nick Saban, and how they've created long-term sustainable success. And I was fortunate, a podcast I've recently started hosting, the Fast 5-Star podcast. I was able to have a conversation with Coach Charles Huff, that last week. And he was an assistant coach at Alabama last year, the running back coach. He's now the head coach at Marshall. But to get the inner look at that long-term sustainable culture, it's those kind of coaches that I look at, and I'm passionate about learning from, because they've done it at the highest level, creating that culture and a championship program.
Great. I'm just wondering, the game of football, what it represents to you. You've been involved for so many years, Coach Robertson. What that, personally, for you.
Yeah, football, the game of football, what it's done for me, it's my whole life. It's changed my life. You look at things that are important to you, your values, and for me, it's my family, and then next it's football, because football is my family, and it's just really shaped who I am as an individual, who I am as a man. All the things I've learned through football. That work ethic, that dedication, that's helped shape who I am as a father and a husband now. So the game of football, what it's done for me, you really can't even put it into words. It's something that I love day in and day out. I truly love, that I don't have a job, the career I'm in. It's something I'm passionate about, but the game of football has truly changed my life and molded me into the person I am right now.
Sure. The final two, I can't forget about Iona Prep High School. I had to ask you.
Yeah.
I know it's going back a ways, but I had to ask you, your time there, your alma mater, and just said attending, the high school.
Yeah, Iona Prep in North Shore, New York.
Yeah.
That helped mold who I am today as well. All the things I learned on the field, in the classroom, still very close with a lot of my coaches that coached me there. Coach Vic Carollo, he coached me in football and basketball there at the varsity level when I was there. But what I learned at Iona, the values that it instilled in me, as a young man, in my high school years, that's helped shape who I am now. And a lot of those values are in our FDU football program, because you're going to be a culmination of all those experiences you have. You take those past experiences, combine them with your personal values, and that's going to set the direction for yourself and your program. But Iona Prep, though, again, it's talk about an elite program now. I don't know if I would have gotten on the field now if I was a player there now. But what Coach Spags has done there right now, I mean, that's a phenomenal place, and excited to see all the great things that they continue to do there.
That's great. Final two is that about your advice, for younger, not only younger players. I that's what I ask them all the time, especially with the seniors, but for younger athletes, and then even coaches who are trying to aspire one day, maybe to be the head coach at Fairleigh Dickinson University. What your again, what your advice is for them?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and it's something we talked about a little earlier, was having that CEO mentality in everything you do, not just picking and choosing where you want to be great. You have to bring that energy and passion in that relentless pursuit of greatness in everything you do, because everything's interconnected, and then at the same time, this is something a coach that has told me this a long time ago, is never be asked twice to do something. So if you're a student athlete, if you're a coach, you're in the business world, you should never have to be asked twice to do something. You get asked to do it, you're expected and required to do it. Do it right then and there, because that shows how much you truly love, where you're at and how passionate you are about it. So those are things that, I live by day to day now.
The final question, I know you talked about family earlier. I mean, the commitment, to coaching is not easy. And then, trying again, balancing out between family and football. I had to ask, you mentioned your wife, Kristen, you have 2 daughters. I mean, can you talk about that, Coach, especially being, young, just, trying to, again, maneuver, through those, through those waters.
Oh yeah. And it's the successes I've had and where I'm at today is because of her. My wife, Kristen. We have 2 young daughters, Mia, who's 3, Emma, who's 1, and they're my world. And I'll say the pandemic, even in coaching, has allowed me to be home and work remotely, recruiting remotely a lot. Our team meetings, a lot of them or all of them are remote right now. So I've been able to be around them so much more the past year. And I think it's really going to change the coaching world a little bit, because there are a lot of things we can do remotely and probably be more productive and more efficient along the way, but the love that I have for them and they have for me, that's what sets the foundation of our entire family, and then you extend it to my, all of my family, my parents, my siblings. We're a football family, so, fortunate and blessed to be surrounded by so many great people. And then those values, that familyness goes right into then our FDU football program, because at the foundation of who we are as an FDU football program, it's to be a real family, and the REAL of real, respect, energy, accountability, and love, that can allow us to be real. If we're real, we can be a family, so that's why family is so important to me. Not only, the FDU football real family, but most importantly, my wife and daughters.
Sounds good. Hey, Coach Robertson, I can't thank you enough for the opportunity. It's just been an honor and privilege to speak with you. Wishing you continued success, especially, coming up here with the 2021 season.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed our conversation. Excited about where we're taking this thing. As we said, no more exciting time than right now to be involved with the FDU football program, our athletics department, and our university overall. So can't thank you enough for having me, and can't wait to keep this train rolling along.
Thank you.
Thank you.